drinks. And we also had many raffles that were donated. And all of the proceeds went to Friends of Mountain View. Total proceeds from that was about $815.
Great. Now those proceeds go into what?
It's going to Friends of Mountain View.
Okay.
So all in all, I think it was a very successful day. The Friends also sponsored a wheelchair decorating contest for residents, and we had probably about a dozen residents maybe come out with decorated wheelchairs and walkers. And we had some cash prizes for the top 3 winners, so that was kind of fun.
I didn't know there were cash prizes.
There were cash prizes, yes, donated by Friends. So it was a very successful day.
I did the judging.
You did the judging?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. You want to report on anything else that happened during the nursing home week?
We
I know
had.
you started on it 2 weeks ago.
We had, on that Thursday evening, we had, every year we try to do one big evening program that involves dinner, entertainment. And this year we went along with a travel theme all week. So one of the days, on Tuesday, we actually, each neighborhood picked a country and decorated their neighborhood in that country. And some had food from that country, and some had activities that you would find in that country. And residents were able to travel around to each country. That was very well received. We had Italy, Scotland, the USA, and Mexico. And then for lunch that day, we turned the big room into a French bistro. On Thursday evening, we traveled to Ireland and had an Irish pub night, and that was very well received. I had an Irish entertainer come, and the residents really enjoyed that. What else did we do? On Thursday, we also traveled. We took several bus loads over to the Wright Museum and traveled through their time tunnel that they have there. They have each room as a different decade, so we thought that went along well with our theme, and we took 2 bus loads over to that. On Friday afternoon, we turned the downstairs into a movie theater and watched a travel-themed movie. I don't remember which one we chose, to be honest with you. On Monday, we had a lady come in and we tried Zumba, and that was very well received. A couple of our residents really got into it. At the very least, they were all smiling and laughing. She did it all in a seated position.
With you or at you?
We were all laughing together. But she did it all in a seated position. Some of the residents tried every single move. Some of them we told them they could just move, and they had a lot of fun. So that was something different that we tried that week.
Good.
I think all in all, it was a very successful week.
Good. Anybody got any questions? Anybody from the public have any questions regarding Nursing Home Week and activities that took place there?
I don't have a question about Nursing Home Week, but Susan. What day is today? 23rd? Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm going to the state. The state has a conference on aging every year. Is anybody from the nursing home going to your knowledge?
Not that I know of.
No, I'll bring back any pertinent information.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. All done?
No.
All right. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Coleman, do you have those notes from the commissioners?
Yes.
I don't see Jason Johnson here, so Bob, would you come up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Get a report for Sandy. Sandy's under the weather. She should be back Monday. Nursing home census this week is 103. We've got a full house. 19 private pay residents, 7 Medicare residents, 8 pending Medicaid, 69 Medicaid, and 1 resident is due to be discharged, I believe, today, going to the Veterans Home. As Susan said, the car show is a great success. We have another garden meeting scheduled for next Wednesday at noontime. That leaves me. Do you have any questions for me this week?
You have looked at the bids for the pellets, right?
I've looked at some. Laurie did indicated that there were a couple others that I didn't see. Are there any that I haven't seen?
There were 4.
Okay, those are the 4 that I had seen. I had given 2 recommendations, one that I preferred over the other, but I wanted to leave the ultimate decision up to you. I don't have the information in front of me, but there was one that was a little higher priced, at $215 a ton, but they had the capability of filling our silo easier. They could deliver 20 tons at a time, where the $200 bid only wanted to do 30 tons at a time. They would actually come with a tractor trailer. The only problem I see with doing 30 tons at a time is it's going to get us very, very, very low on pellets. That's a 35-ton maximum capacity
35
silo,
ton.
and it's going to get us right down to the wire. And I'm just concerned about timing. They want a 4-day notice to fill, so for $15 a ton, yeah, I think I would like to see you go with the $215 a ton company that'll do the.
This was New England Wood Pellets from Jaffrey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a quick question, Bob. Who gave you permission to open those bids? I asked the question to Bob.
Okay, I'm going to answer it, because right on the request for a proposal, any inquiries were to be sent to Bob Murray, Superintendent of Maintenance. So he wrote up the proposal, and they were sent to him. And normally, what we do is we ask people to come in with a recommendation, and the only way he could make a recommendation if he opened up the bids.
Yeah.
If I stepped out of line, I apologize. I didn't. If I did, I didn't realize. I thought I was an integral part of the process.
No,
if you prefer me not to next time, that's fine. Like I said, if I stepped out of line, I apologize.
Because I think if the bids come in, we open the bids here in public, we'll look at it and we write down, who did the proposals. And if you want to make a recommendation, I think then we give it to you.
Okay.
I think we will, for the minutes, we received a bid from New England Wood Pellet from Jaffrey for $215 per ton.
On board, Mr. Chairman.
What's that?
You're opening these bids. Could you give us some more specifics? Does it include a discount if you pay on time? Does it include delivery? Does it include the national certification of the pellet?
I can answer
Standard that it meets?
I can answer some of those questions. Yeah, there was one bid that did not include delivery, and they didn't even give us a price for delivery. So that was discounted. It was clear, I made it clear in the RFP that the bids were to include delivery charges. Then there was another bid that was a high bidder.
Excuse me, as you open them up, could you tell us rather than jump around?
All right, this is from
Let's go to the. I have.
Sandry, S-A-N-D-R-I, out of Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah, Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Greenfield, Massachusetts. Product is New England Wood Pellets. They
It's
get it from
the same product.
Same product. And theirs was $200 a ton.
But that
they're
was
the
the
ones that
one
had
that had the
30
tractor trailer and wanted to do it 30 tons at a time.
30-ton delivery at a time,
And
right.
from Massachusetts?
And from Massachusetts. That's why they wanted to do it with a tractor trailer. Transportation costs.
Right. Another one was from Jesse Lyman out of Conway, New Hampshire. Product meets the standards of the RFP. They have a small delivery truck, 9-ton capacity, which would mean a lot of deliveries. $251 a ton. Another one was out of
Point of
Maine.
order, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Was there a delivery charge on that, or was he just gonna deliver in a
That
small-
included delivery.
That included delivery.
And we have another one here from Maine Woods Pellet Company out of Athens, Maine. Product again meets the standards, does not include the delivery. $167 a ton.
Point of order.
Yes.
Does the delivery include loading it into the silo?
Yes.
Did that company put down a delivery charge?
No.
That's what I was looking for. I don't see it.
They indicated, I'm kind of confused by that bid that you have in your hands. They didn't include the delivery charge, which was required in the RFP. Through a phone call, they indicated that they don't have the capacity to deliver over the Maine border. So even if they were to deliver it, they'd have to hire a subcontractor in New Hampshire to deliver it. There were too many questions in that one bid to even draw consideration.
How many tons?
400.
400.
They did give the test results, right?
They
Except for one. And the tests were all satisfactory.
From what I hear, they all met the standards.
Robert Linkletter. Huh. Okay. So the two that you recommend, do you remember which?
Well, one was A.R. Sandry out of Greenfield, Massachusetts. They were $200 a ton, but they were the 30-ton minimum, which could pose a problem for us. They would be my number 2 recommendation. My number 1 recommendation would be New England Wood Pellet out of Jaffrey. At $215 a ton, 20-ton delivery.
Is that out of Jaffrey? No, that's Greenfield, Massachusetts.
That's one here.
No, I'm on hotels, I got it right here. So theirs was at, they would deliver 20-ton minimum,
Correct.
and it was $215 per ton.
Correct.
215 or 250?
215.
215.
And they need a minimum of 4 days' notice.
It's not like oils where they can figure out after a few months that
No,
this
this is a market. This is a market that's still growing, actually emerging. It's in its infancy, so there are not a lot of people who are capable of delivering pellets to a silo. There are a lot of places where you can pick them up by the bagful.
Yeah, but that's for home delivery.
Right, but not what we have.
Okay, the local one from North Conway, $251 a ton. It was a small truck.
Small
The
truck, which
price
is fine.
and small.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the smaller truck. It doesn't affect the operation at all. It just means that they would come more frequently. So obviously, they had increased transportation costs, which I imagine is what drove their price up.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, did the Lyman bid include delivery?
Yes.
Yes.
There was no testing report involved with it, but they have a small delivery truck, 9-ton capacity.
And they're the ones who filled, well, not filled, but put 10 tons of pellets in our silo.
Right. Through the contract.
Through the contractor, right.
How long is this contract for?
1 year. One heating season.
Nice.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Bassett.
If it's one heating season and you've requested 40 tons, 400 tons, what have you done to leave the door open if we need 450 or we only need 350 and it's just one heating season?
That 400 tons was based solely on the engineer's recommendation. Honestly, I didn't address any overages in the RFP.
Shoot.
But if the if the old nursing home is going to be shrinking in size like we anticipate, then we should be using less pellets.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm only concerned with the overage. Should you not accept the bid today and call back to 2 or 3 people that are 1, 2, and 3 and ask them what they'll do over the 400 as it stands now? If they want to double the price on ton 401, they can. I doubt that they do it. But,
I was about to say that.
why not make sure and have it in writing?
We can do that.
And is there a minimum purchase? Is it a minimum of 400?
I didn't see a minimum.
I mean, how did they condition their bids? That was my question.
Well, accepting a proposal does not enter us into a contract.
Right.
That's something that can be addressed when the contract is written.
And it would seem worth an exploration over the course of the year. You're looking at a $16,000 transportation difference. If you take your lowest bid versus the bid that's next lowest that you want to accept on 400 tons. So the $16,000 worth of transportation, is that what it would really cost to transport the pellets from Athens, Maine down to here? I mean, I don't think you really want to get into that exploration before you start buying your pellets this year, but during the course of the following year, you might want to look at whether or not there are trucks that are going online that could be utilized to save some money.
Well, the benefit of having a single heating season bid is as this grows, as this goes into the future, more options should become available to us and the industry. But I know the company in North Conway, they don't store the pellets on site. They actually have to go get them wherever they're purchasing from and then bring them to us. So their transportation costs, I'm sure, are huge.
Okay, I guess Maine Woods pellets would be eliminated because of no delivery.
You mean?
There's no delivery, did not include delivery cost?
Did not include delivery costs, and they did not give us a testing report to see if the pellets met the qualifications.
Okay.
I would eliminate the high bid for simple reasons that it's unfortunately much larger than the 2 middle bids.
On this one?
That's from Jesse Lyman.
$200 a ton. Jesse Lyman was $251, which is the high bid. Okay. Okay, would you make a call and get those questions answered to New England Wood Pellets as well as Sandry?
Point of order.
Go ahead.
New England wood pellet, excuse me. For some reason, they seem to have fires there on a fairly regular basis. They just had one about a month ago. Are they, if they have, are they gonna be able to keep the supply going if the plant shuts down, or? Because I know that it seems like they have at least one fire a year, and they just had one about a month ago.
Those are good for you.
It might be a fire for the year.
Yeah, would you check on the guarantees?
Absolutely.
I'll give these two back to you.
Yep.
Can I see what is on the proposal, because you just read something? So, you just said clarifications of terms and conditions of the proposal shall be directed to. It said inquiries. So if you have questions, the people who put in a bid, they can ask the questions to Bob Murray. And it said clearly here in the request of proposal, a completed proposal shall be submitted to the Carroll County Commissioners.
Mhm. That's where it came, that's why it came to us. Okay. Check on these two.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there any deadline on when we had to approve these? I know they came in, what, a week
Just the
ago-
deadline for
week ago Friday.
Just the
right?
deadline for submittal, but there was not a deadline for approving it. And for the record, I received via fax one of these proposals.
So one came to the fax?
Yeah, it came through the fax to me, and so I did not open it. And the other ones were in envelopes that were, I opened one envelope, the rest were already opened.
Okay.
And I can't.
So where did the fax come?
It came,
In the-
I found
Oh.
it was in my envelope next door, because shipped to the nursing home.
Okay.
And I'll repeat, if I stepped over the line, I
No,
apologize.
I just wrote something with Commissioner Swanson.
Okay, check on those two, and let us know next week. And we'll sign a contract, okay?
Okay.
Before you leave,
Yes.
any update
I'm not
on the
leaving.
system? Oh, but any update on the system itself?
On the pallet system?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I meant to talk about that. They did fire one boiler up last week. They spent a day debugging the controls, all the electronics and whatnot. The firing went well. The boiler seemed to run great. We have a balancer scheduled May 30th. He's the gentleman who comes in and balances all the piping and valves, make sure that the water goes in the right flow in the right direction. But he's on vacation, so right now he's not scheduled till the 30th. So they can't finish the firing of the boilers or the integration of those boilers into our heating system until then.
Mhm.
All I can report is so far so good.
Okay. So all the safety, there was a holdup because of safety measures with the boilers?
Well, there were a couple of relief valves that got shipped wrong. They were the
Okay.
wrong size, and those are safety devices.
Okay, and there was also a holdup because it had to be American-made?
There were a couple of parts as well that were shipped that were not
Mhm.
American-made. They had to wait a couple more weeks to get those parts delivered that were.
Right.
It's very difficult to find American-made parts these days.
Okay. Fly American.
And also regarding the heating and cooling processes in the nursing home?
In the new nursing home? Yeah, like I explained last week, 2 weeks ago, that's a system that is new. We're still in the debugging process itself. There have been a couple areas that have overheated intermittently. We did have an air conditioner failure that first week of 80-degree weather that we had back in March that caused some rise in temperatures in one neighborhood. But there are a couple of other bugs that I'm exploring with the general contractor right now. It's not a matter of me pushing buttons and changing settings. It's a process that involves the general contractor, the installing contractor. For the most part, people are happy. There's just a few a few people that get overheated on occasion, and when they do, I hear about it.
I guess I heard about it in the paper.
That was unfortunate, but...
Yeah, it was. My comment was that, yes, they could put in agreements, and right away, the person who wrote the article felt that I was talking about the union and brought the union into it. There are other people over at the nursing home, other than the union, that could put in agreements. It was a general comment, and I had no intentions of bringing the union into this issue, but she thought it was, so.
And the complaints that I do get, I just want to make everybody aware that I'm not ignoring them. I do pay attention, I listen, because, you know, sometimes if they say something, they give me a piece of useful information that I can use to help find out what the problem is. And if there's something that I can correct, I do. If I can't, I put it on to the installing contractor, like the day that air conditioner failed. They've come and they fixed it in relatively short order. They've been very good. But we haven't even been through a full season of heating and cooling yet, so we're still debugging. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be an ongoing process. And just to assure you that I'm doing the best I can to keep everybody comfortable.
As far as I can see, you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you, appreciate it.
And we talked about the posts on the walkway that got fixed.
Yes. Yeah, there was some concrete patchwork. It was decorative concrete, is what it was. The sidewalk moved. That concrete crumbled. They've replaced those with what they call floating trim. So they'll move as the sidewalk and posts move. It looks much nicer.
Yes, they did look good.
Yeah.
Generator's working okay?
Generator's working fantastic. We had a power failure about a month ago, and it worked as designed.
Good. Yeah. And you may have addressed the issue of one of the panels that was stained due to the condensation.
Yeah, we had an excess condensation day.
And that's been taken care of?
Oh, yeah, that was taken care of when it happened.
Okay.
The condensation was addressed. The ceiling tile was repaired. Well, the ceiling tile may have been out for a day or two, because usually if I see something dripping, I don't just put a new ceiling tile. I let the dripping stop and dry up, and then I'll fix it. But
right. You have a full force now of maintenance people?
I'm fully staffed.
And you're happy with what's going on with your...
Yeah, my staff, the addition of the final person complemented my schedule perfectly. I'm very happy with how things are flowing. The guys are happy. They don't have to work as many weekends as they were. They were working every third weekend. Now they're working every fifth.
Fifth weekend?
Every fifth. On a 5-week rotation.
What kind of coverage do you have in the evenings?
I run 2 shifts. I've got, there's 4 of us, including me, during the day, and on the evenings, 3 to 11, there's 2, and from 11 to 7, there's no one.
Okay.
We have someone who's on call all the time if something happens.
Yeah.
They get paged and they'll respond.
Okay, anybody got any questions of Bob? No? Anybody from the general public have a question from Bob? Okay, thank you.
I'm staying here.
Jason, please. Bob, do you have anything for non-public?
Yes. that's
Okay.
what I said.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This morning, the population, we have 62 in-house, 1 weekender, 8 transfers, 2 out on electronic monitoring, 8 on the pretrial release program, total population of 81. Took in 11 inmates last week, 2 were repeaters, and 16 were released. The repeaters came in full, 1 for criminal mischief, booked 2 times in 2 years, and 1 for violation of parole, booked 3 times in 6 years. I just provided you the service contracts for you to approve, and so I can get those back out to the companies.
Okay.
And copies are also downstairs with the business office staff. I received a quote from TDK